digital economy to grow while rehabilitating and protecting our environment. This country looks to you, young people, and as custodians of its future, to embark on nation building with dedication and vigor, using the knowledge and skills you have and which you will continue to acquire over a lifetime of learning and service. The Kenya National Vision 2030 identifies the National Youth Service as a strategic organization in our development. The government, in its plan for the rapid socio-economic transformation of our country, also considers the institution as an anchor for youth participation in driving our sustainable development. I therefore bring to your attention the high expectation the nation has of the level, the scope, and the impact of your participation in transformative endeavors, and I am confident that you are well aware of this fact. Your field units, where you learned by doing, maize, potato, rice, cabbage, beef, chicken, and dairy production, provided excellent orientation to our national food security and agro-industrial agenda. I am encouraged to know that the National Youth Service now intends to place 720 acres of land under irrigation to support maize, potato, and soybean seed production and multiplication. This is in addition to impacting training in such vital fields as aeroponics, climate-smart agriculture, and research. It is important that this new venture succeeds, is cost-effective, and does not exert inordinate budgetary pressure. I also recognize that the service is going to play a significant role in the national tree planting campaign by growing 1 billion trees on 40,000 acres across the country over the next 5 years. Further, I am delighted to observe that the National Youth Service has committed to hold the hand of many graduates in starting income-generating activities and accessing affordable financing by establishing circles dedicated to MSME incubation and growth. In addition, I appreciate the National Youth Service for its plan to contribute to the enhancement of government service delivery by providing personnel to assist in digitization, automation, and migration of government services online. I am happy to report that our endeavor to transit all government services to a digital platform is on course. We started 2 months ago with 300 government services online. Today, we have 2,800 government services online, and we are on course to ensuring that in the next 6 months, all government services will be available online on a digital platform, and we will leverage on automation and on technology to provide efficient, effective government services to all citizens from wherever they will be without having to queue or having to wait in any office, because services, government services, will be available online. And I want to thank the National Youth Service for being part of this transformative agenda of digitizing government services. In addition, I appreciate the National Youth Service for what they are doing in their service plan to escalate its participation by expanding enrollment to ICT and STEM in its technical and vocational education and training programs is a highly welcome indication of commitment to establish the youth as indispensable engines of transformation. The government has initiated a robust agenda to ensure that art, culture, and sport blossom throughout the country in the next 5 years, and that afterwards, Kenya will be a consistent high achiever in these sectors regionally, continentally, and globally. The NYS proposal to enhance its participation in these sectors by identifying, developing, and promoting appropriate talent is highly welcome. And I want to commit that the Youth Ministry will partner with the National Youth Service to ensure that talents, knowledge, expertise that are identified within the National Youth Service receive the necessary support so that we can nurture those talents and use them to monetize for purposes of transforming our country. The National Youth Service proposal in this sector, as I have said, will be supported in a manner in which that there will be an agreement between NYS and the Ministry of Youth. The government is taking full advantage of the tremendous potential by expanding Kenya's textile production by increasing the land area under cotton production, by upgrading the services, garment, and textile production to EPZ standards. The National Youth Service will complement this strategic pillar by infusing youthful energy and creativity in production of our garment and textile sector. Similarly, the services plan to produce affordable housing material and expand enrollment into civil works and building trade courses in the Tibet program is a perfectly timed intervention. All these commitments and strategies have materialized from concepts, ideas, and plans because of the promise that you have demonstrated and your manifest capability in applying your knowledge, skills, and training to advance your own aspirations and our collective national development goals. We have seen that you can do, we have seen what you can do, and this affirms our intention to premise our plan for rapid national socio-economic transformation on the participation of the youth in greater numbers and significant roles. This is to say that the creation of meaningful opportunities for millions of young people is not a byproduct of the bottom-up agenda for national economic transformation. It is a necessary condition for economic takeoff and shared prosperity. Our definition and understanding of development must have the active contribution of an overwhelming majority of youth as its foundational principle, and the inspiring profile of this cohort attests to this. For this reason, we want to enhance the annual intake. The annual intake from 10,000 every intake to 20,000 every intake. In other words, we want to double the intake of young people joining the National Youth Service from every location in the Republic of Kenya as a mechanism of creating sufficient patriotism and giving opportunity to young people in rural areas who otherwise may not have the means or may not have the opportunity to be able to explore their talent and be able to get the necessary training and skills for them to make useful contribution to the development of our country, while at the same time broadening the pipeline of qualified young people into public and private sector, as well as self-employment, to enrich education, training, and skill development while utilizing the construction plant, machinery, and equipment. The service should be facilitated by the Ministry of Water and Sanitation to engage in construction of at least 100 dams and water pans annually. This will support the government agenda and enhance NYS financial self-reliance. I have this morning instructed that all equipment purchased by the government in the service of NYS should be refurbished, should be re-engineered, and should be made serviceable. And the necessary budgetary allocation should be identified so that the government of Kenya can finance to ensure that the National Youth Service takes advantage of the energy that agricultural machinery to support NYS agricultural sector for food production, to enhance self-reliance by NYS, and to support national food production as we seek for food self-reliance as a country. In recognition of the admirable role of the National Youth Service in anchoring youth contribution to national socio-economic transformation, and to give comfort to the many young people enrolled and those considering enrollment, I am enhancing the path to the discipline services by directing the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Energy, Climate Change and Forestry, Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife and Heritage, as well as the Ministry of Interior and National Administration to allocate at least 30% of their vacancies to National Youth Servicemen and women. This should encourage and motivate many young Kenyans on their path to national service and national productivity. I want to say that as we work together in this endeavor, we will ensure that a majority of the young people who otherwise would not get an opportunity to grow their talent, to explore their expertise, and to acquire knowledge, will do so because of the enhanced enrollments we are going to do at the National Youth Service. This morning, I have also instructed that the task force that is currently undertaking the terms and conditions of service of our policemen and the prisons service members. This morning I have instructed that an extension of 2 months be accorded, an extension of 2 months be made available for the task force so that that task force can also include the National Youth Service, terms of service and conditions of service, to ensure that the service, the National Youth Service, joins the other discipline forces in ensuring that the men and women who serve with dedication and commitment and sacrifice are considered in terms of their employment and terms of service. I look forward to that report in the next 2.5 months so that we can make it possible for the men and women who do this great job get their due regard from the people and the government of the Republic of Kenya. Congratulations, graduates, for your achievement so far. Your contribution to transforming Kenya has already been felt. The nation awaits more with high expectation, which I am confident you will surpass. Nataka niwashukuru sana vijana hawa. Mimi nimewaangalia, nimeona vile mumeweka paredi hapa. Muko chonjo, muko smart. Congratulations to all of you. Na vile nimesema ya kwamba management ya National Youth Service watatuambia ile facilities ambazo zinahitajika, na waziri utapanga na watu na management ya NYS ndio tujue, ili vijana 20,000 waje hapa kila enrollment, yaani vijana 40,000 kila mwaka waweze kuja katika masomo haya. Ni facilities gani tunahitaji additionally so that we can make it possible, because of the great contribution the National Youth Service is making in transforming young people from across Kenya into responsible, patriotic citizens of the Republic of Kenya. I have also made the commitment this morning that because we value and we are aware of the immense contribution that the National Youth Service is making